Morning. So looks like, Pascal's gotten through the week pretty good thus far. Reeder as well, Levi as well, Decker as well. Matt cleared protocol, so I think we're trending the right way with all those guys. Today will certainly be the icing on the cake with those guys, but they all look pretty good right now, so that's good. It's been a good week for us just to get back, really felt like a little bit of a mini bye, catch your breath for a minute, but we were able to get back and do some of the things we were doing before we got into the stretch we were in. Got some critical work. We know the opponent we're getting ready to face. This is a really good team. Mentioned it earlier. They play high-level football, and so we got to be on our game. But we're looking forward to it.
Dan, I know that Jared had said last week that you kind of leaned on the offense and said, "Listen, this is going to be a game where I'm going to need you guys to take the ball, take control." Is this week a similar type of situation, going head-to-head with the two top offenses in the league?
Well, look, I think, certainly we need to score points. I mean, if you just look at it on paper, I mean, this offense scores points. They do every week. They got a pretty good recipe. We talked about it. They run the ball. They got receivers to make something happen, and certainly this quarterback, man, he's dynamic with the football in his hands. But I would also say, look, our defense, we're gonna put a lot on our defense this week. Our defense and special teams is gonna play a critical factor in this game. So, it's critical, but it's gonna take all three phases here. And I expect our defense to play well.
Speaking of the defense, you've had Za'Darius for a month now. I think 19 pressures over that time. I think that's tied for third most in the league. Just how great of a fit has he been for what you guys do?
You got Za'Darius, right? Yes. Yeah, he's been a great fit for us, and I think you saw, last week, even with the injuries we had, we took some reps off of him in some areas to where we could really use him at his best, really showcase a few of those reps, the third down reps, second long. He still played base downs, but, man, in his production was really well, so really good. So we're trying to be smart with him and maximize the reps we get out of him, but he's been really good for us. He fits the rooms, fits the guys. Our players have embraced him, and yeah, he there again, it's like I mentioned this before. It's like offense. Of course, you love having players that produce, but it's really that brings something different than the guy next to you. It's why you like having different receivers. It's like why you like having different defensive backs, different rushers, different D linemen, backers, because it just enables you to do more, and that's what he does for us.
Something we were talking about earlier in the week, like the magnitude of the game when it's two of the best teams in the NFL, obviously. When you play like this sort of Super Bowl preview caliber game, at this point in the season, late in the season, what sort of measuring stick is it, just for where you want to be, what you still need to clean up to get to where you want to go?
Yeah, I don't know if look, we know this is a big game because it's a really good opponent, and this next one in front of us. But we just played a big game. I mean, Green Bay that's a big game against a really good opponent. So, like, to me, this is just the next one. It's the next big game. It's not, this is going to be bigger than the one we just played. I mean, and that's how I view it, and I think our players view it that way. It's a very good opponent, but I mean, we keep playing big games. So, we need to play clean football. And I mentioned this before. There's little things on offense, defense, and special teams, just little things that are creeping up that we hadn't quite snuffed out yet, that we haven't quite cleaned up, that are putting us in a couple of bad positions. And we need to just completely disinfect all that. Let's get it out of there. That's what I'm really looking for. Man, how clean of a game can we play? And that'll serve us well. You need to be playing your best football. And you don't know what it's going to take to beat the team you're getting ready to play. You don't know what that's going to be. We know this is a good football team. I don't know what it's going to take. We know Green Bay's a damn good team. You know, we did just enough. But you don't know what it's going to take with the rest of these teams down the line. And you don't know exactly who's going to be in. You don't know. And so are you willing to say that it's good enough right now? I'm not. I don't want to take that chance. So we got to clean some things up, and we will.
Again, I know it's not a question, but earlier this season, you guys, if you got the coin flip, you would give the ball up and you get the ball in the second half. Lately, I think the last couple of times you decided to take the ball first. What's the thought process behind that? Is it the other team's play, like an offensive team, you want to get the ball first and go? Or how do you decide that?
I would tell you it changes every week. It really does with me. It changes every week. And I don't want to give you exactly my whole thought process, but sometimes it's the way I feel about our offense. Sometimes it's what I feel about their offense. Sometimes it's what I feel about our defense. Sometimes it's every time they take the ball or they defer, this is what happens. And so it's just, you know, every week it's different. And it's kind of been that way that we take the ball lately, but that doesn't mean we'll do it every week.
You know right now what you would do if
I have a good idea, yep.
no, I'm done.
I'm curious about Greg Rousseau. You know, it's not a guy that gets mentioned.
Who's that? I'm sorry.
Rousseau.
Yeah.
He doesn't get mentioned a lot
Yeah.
of top edge rushers, but look at the pressure numbers every year. They're really high. It looks like he's a really consistent player. Is he more of a style rusher that what you guys do opposite Aiden? I mean, is he a pocket crusher and a disruptor in that way? What kind of impact does he have on a game plan weekly?
Yeah, I feel like he's a power rusher with length, you know. So now he does have speed. He's got speed to get upfield, but I think what gets on you and where a lot of people have problems with him is his length with the power, you know. He's a long, linear guy, and he's got a good first step, and so you're trying to match that initial speed, and then he comes down on you with that long arm power, and, man, he opens these tackles up. That's where he's really dangerous, and he gets a lot of guys with it. And so it is a little something different, but it's not so much different than a lot of things that, you know, somebody like Hutch does, you know, those kind of power rushers, they can crush it down. You know, now Hutch has got to spin and stuff too, but this guy is really good at what he does, you know, and he does every week. You see him get guys, and he's a pressure player, man, and he's somebody, you can't let him get started, and you certainly can't let him beat you with a first step upfield.
What are some of the hallmarks of the Sean McDermott defense?
Oh, man. Well, look, here's the obvious, man. It's a very disciplined defense. They're gap sound in the run game. They're aggressive. They fly to the football. They traditionally get takeaways, which they're doing it again. They're an opportunistic defense. They create pressure, which gets picks. They punch out. I mean, we were looking at some last night where the guy's going to the ground, his elbow's almost down, and the defender's, you can see the punch out from underneath. I mean, that takes, you know, that's a conscious effort to see the football, go after the football with the runner go almost down to the ground. You know, meant fast, explosive, you know, speed, run to the football. I think those are always things you think of. And then third down, very aggressive, traditionally. That's, you know, he's going to make you earn everything you get. First, second down, third down, he's going to bring it and see if you can handle some pressure. And that's kind of been traditionally what he's been, you know. He came from the Jimmy Johnson era. God rest his soul. He was a hell of a coordinator back in the day, but kind of, you know, built off of that. But it's been damn good wherever he's been. His defenses are always top defenses.
Dave lost a day of practice yesterday. How much of an advantage is that? How much, I don't know, what does that matter, I guess, to a team at this stage in its career?
Say that again?
Bills lost a day of practice because of the snow.
Yeah, I don't put anything into that. I mean, I think one day in COVID, I don't even know if we practiced at New Orleans one week and we went out and put up 30. I don't know what that was, but I'm like, no, I put nothing into that. That team will be ready. I mean, you know, so all good. And guess what? If we couldn't practice, we'd be ready. We'll find a way. So they're going to be good. They'll be ready. They'll trim the plan to where they can play fast and allow their guys to do what they need to, or use what they did last week, or they'll be fine. So we know we're going to get their best shot. We'll have a team that's ready to go.
clear protocol, or did it happen?
I don't know. No, I don't see Nowatzki playing this week. You know, and that crept up on us. That was something that, you know, he didn't feel good. And so that, you know, he's in protocol and he'll be good. Yep.